We now come to our board discussion items, which is a semi-annual report presented by the manager and his wonderful team.
Marketplace on the Green project. And this is the highest profile project that we do have going on right now. And this year we've been able to acquire the land. We hired Jeff Keyes from Kebs Engineering as our consultant. We held a groundbreaking ceremony on May 22nd. Last night, the Planning Commission recommended approval of the CPUD for this project, which you will be voting on June 18th. The bids were received last week for construction. Right now, we're in the process of evaluating those bids, making sure that we're comparing apples to apples. Hope to have a recommendation next week. We have fundraised and set aside $1.1 million for this. It appears we're about $300,000 short from what we're seeing on bids. So we're still in the fundraising mode, and then we will be requesting a budget amendment from the Park Millage sometime this year so we can move this project forward.
We think it's an important thing to do, to have this maintenance program. Without it, eventually over time, the assessing records would become less and less accurate over time. And in the end, I guess if things got bad enough, I've seen it happen in other situations, other localities, where the records get bad enough that you then have to do a complete reappraisal. Complete reappraisal of the township would probably be well over $500,000. So we've got, I think it's $6,600 budgeted for the wages for the interns. We hired 2 people. And we think that's a really cost-effective way to maintain these important records.
Our most substantial accomplishment this year, the single system at the township that over the last 4 or 5 years that has really kept us up at night, was our telephone system.
Just wanted to give you kind of a snapshot of the last 3 years of our call volume from January 1st through June 1st. Pretty consistent if you look at it. Our EMS calls are not much different than the average. Even structure fire calls, a little bit different in our service calls. We're up quite a lot on that, and that's a lot of, I think, a lot of calls we had over the winter with some pipes breaking and things like that. We actually had a huge increase in that.
There is a direct correlation with when we share information on social via Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, our newsletter today, which isn't reflected in this, but you can see a direct correlation between when people are visit our website in conjunction with when we're putting information out.
The third was to connect the township's pathway system. So we're working on the Okemos Road Boardwalk. That's been a long time gap that the community's been wanting to basically fill. And the construction is underway. Most of the pilings have been installed. They have been delayed from the ongoing rains. In fact, we're probably looking at several weeks of delay based on the rains we've had.
So we put this out there online for everybody to see that everybody has options. You do not have to use our online bill payment system, but they've got several different options, and then each of the cost effect of each of these different options. So they can pay online, they can still pay by mail, they can drop it off in the drop box out front, the white drop box, or you can pay in person in our office. And then we also have a computer set up in the lobby to assist anybody who wants to pay online but needs a little bit of assistance trying to do it.
We have a great opportunity with our diversity initiative. We've been working steadily for the last 4 years on professional networking, attending some of the career fairs, which I've noted there. Our hires to date, we have hired 11 full-time, 1 part-time, and 15 seasonal workers, including 2 police officers and 1 firefighter.
Opening in September. Big Lots, if you know where the Best Buy Office Mac, you'll notice the property owner has put a huge investment in that site, brand new facade, moved Office Max to the east end, and Big Lots is now going to occupy 47,000 square feet on the west end of that building.
This whole back door of the mall, as I like to call it, is really becoming an entertainment draw. And if you include X Golf, which is right over here, we've got some really unique regional services that are being provided for the first time that are going to bring entertainment dollars outside of Meridian Township, in addition to residents spending money in the township as well, driving traffic to the mall itself.
Accreditation. I've talked a little bit, I did a presentation to the board members. There's 105 standards. This is one of the standards that we are looking to fulfill to get accreditation. We are on pace right now to do what's called a mock onsite. It's where other accreditation agencies come in, take a look at how we're progressing to make sure that we're ready for an onsite assessment, which we hope to have in December.
There's three things: the Township Pension Fund, our healthcare fund, and our MERS fund. And the Township Pension Fund, 6 years ago, was at 71%. Today, it's at 80%. We have only about $1 million of unfunded liability. That's a closed system. There's only one active employee in the township who's a member of that township pension system. It's in really good shape, and it's only going to get better because our unfunded liability is going down.